us on Facebook at Daunta A. Long. Follow us on Instagram at Daunta Long. Follow us on YouTube at Daunta A. Long. Thank you for tuning in to LongTalk.
Well, good evening, and welcome to LongTalk on this Thursday evening. What a joy it is to be with you here tonight, and I'm so happy to have this opportunity to come to you once again on this evening, and so glad that you have taken the time to tune in to LongTalk once again. Here on this evening, it is such a pleasure, and I'm going to invite you to invite everybody in to connect with us on this meaningful dialogue here on LongTalk tonight. I apologize in advance that we were not with you on Tuesday. We experienced just some insurmountable difficulties with our guest and the infrastructure, and we sincerely apologize. I did not want to cut you short by showing any type of rerun or anything like that, so I do apologize that we were not with you. But we're back up and running. Listen, we're in full throttle, and we're happy to be here tonight. So please, 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 go grab a family member, go grab a friend, tell them Daunta Long and LongTalk is here on the air tonight. Whether you're on Facebook, follow us, if you will, at Daunta Long, or if you're on Instagram, go to Daunta Long and please connect with me there on Instagram. Twitter, listen, I'm always happy that we engage in meaningful LongTalk on Twitter each day. And then to my YouTube family, please tonight, go ahead. Many of you watch and you've never subscribed. You tell me all the time, Daunta, I see you on YouTube. Had some lady the other day tell me at a family setting, Brother Long, I see you on YouTube. I said, well, how often do you watch? She said, when I get around to it. And so I just want to tell her tonight, if she's watching, and tell all of you that are on YouTube, hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell so that you can remain current with all things LongTalk on this evening. And I just trust that you will do that, because I know it's in your best interest that we continue in our meaningful dialogue that we have each Tuesday and Thursday evening. All right. Well, listen, hope you've had a great week. I say again, the week is coming down to a close. It's been raining all week here in Atlanta, Georgia, and a lot is going on. We know the country is still in a bit of uncertainty, but tonight we have a meaningful dialogue that will speak to you no matter what your uncertainty, no matter what your difficulty is tonight. Man, I'm telling you, we've got a good LongTalk tonight, so sit back, go get a cup of hot chocolate, go get a cup of tea, go get whatever warm drink. Maybe you're still finishing that dinner. Maybe you're in that bedroom. Go ahead and cast it on the big screen. Gather the family around. We're getting ready to have a great LongTalk tonight, all right? All right. God bless all of you that are watching already. I see so many of you that are on, and thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much for sharing with us. It's always a joy and a privilege to have our friends and our family and all of our onlookers that come and participate in the dialogue. As always, you can leave a comment, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook. Let us know where you're watching from. We realize our audience spreads all over America, and believe it or not, there are individuals that watch us across the diaspora. And so just, if you don't mind, we don't do this often, but tonight, if you're watching this, just put in the comments what city, what state, or what region you're watching from, and our staff wants to connect with you tonight and just let you know how much we appreciate you watching LongTalk on this evening. Well, tonight, I told you, this is going to be a LongTalk unlike any in the 40-plus shows that we've done. Tonight, our guest hails from the sunny city of Orlando, Florida. And tonight, she comes to us with nearly 20 years of cosmetology experience. And not only is she skilled as a cosmetologist, but she also has shifted over into health and wellness and fitness. Boy, seen some of her videos when she's pumping iron, when she's in the gym, and it just says to me, Daunta Long, you should be ashamed of yourself. You need to get in the gym. But listen, her breakthrough didn't just come through cosmetology and wellness and through doing all of those things. it's been through the long experience that she has gone through. And tonight, she's going to dig into that on how she has taken a long journey, not a short journey, but a long journey into healing and wholeness and wellness. And tonight, she comes to us also as a certified master personal trainer. She can also perform first aid. God forbid, if anybody, if you're ever in her company, she is certified to perform first aid. But tonight, she is all about a healthy lifestyle. And so tonight, please, LongTalk audience, would you help me welcome our friend, our guest, our sister, and our queen, Deliqua Isom. How you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Great, great, great. So glad to have you on here with us tonight on LongTalk. Trust you're having a good time tonight.
Thank you. And thank you for having me tonight.
Oh, what a joy it is to have you. Boy, I've been waiting for this LongTalk now for several months because I remember when we first spoke, you laid a story on me that made me go, whoa. Mm-hmm. You can never judge a book, as the old folks say, by its cover, right?
Absolutely.
And so you doing that really, and I mean really, has caused us to say, we gotta hear it. And we know we had some scheduling conflicts a couple of months ago. We were trying to get you here and couldn't get you here, but after further ado, here you are tonight.
Yes.
So do us a favor. Tell us just a little bit about you. I know I gave everybody the professional side of who you are, but I just want you to talk to the LongTalk audience and just greet them, if you will, tonight.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deliqua, as he stated. I am a personal trainer and a wellness empowerment coach with over 14 years of experience in the fitness industry. My background is cosmetology, but my background is also one of healing and overcoming, hopping and jumping through many obstacles of life from age 5 to roughly age 25, being molested, being raped, going through domestic violence, going through some abusive relationships, and just going through some self-image issues with my own confidence, not really seeing myself as God saw me and sees me, rediscovering who I was through purpose in my journey of healing. Also a grandmother of 2 and a mother of 2.
You don't look like nobody's grandma. I'm going to stop lying on LongTalk. Don't you do that. Don't you do that on LongTalk.
Yes, I have 2 wonderful grandsons.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, oh my goodness. And you seem to balance being a mother, a grandmother, a health coach, a fitness, you do it all basically.
Yes, I do. Well, it's easy for me. My children are grown and gone.
Okay.
And they live in 2 different states, and my grandchildren lives, in another state as well, with his dad. But so it's easier for me now because, like I said, they're grown and gone. Now, if they were still here, it'd be a little difficult, but that's not my life right now.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but growing up, it was hard trying to balance, working, healing, being a mom, and just life itself.
Sure.
Trying to overcome and heal as you're raising children, and you're growing up with them, because I had my son when I was 15.
Okay.
So, you're growing up and you're trying to parent at age 15 can be very difficult. And then I had my daughter at 18, and she came into the equation, and you're trying to go through school, trying to provide for your children. I had help from my mom, but I pretty much had to do a lot of things on my own. No real help from their fathers. So it's been challenging, but we made it. I have 2 wonderful children, and I can see that now. Doing it at that age, I didn't see the greatness that I was putting in them. I didn't see how well I was parenting them. But now that they're 28 and 25, I can truly pat myself on the back and say, job well done. I'm a blessed woman. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely blessed to have the children that I have.
And we salute you for raising children in the village. Yes. I don't think enough times we salute women and men who successfully produce well-balanced young men and young women into our society. So I want to salute you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, as we call each other king and queen. My queen, thank you so much for what you have done. But again, you talk about, and I don't want to glossiate, and please, if I go too deep, push me back.
It's
But
okay.
you talk about the fact that it has not been easy and it's been a struggle. And tonight, the reason why we wanted to lift up this conversation was because you penned a book called Arise, right? You
Through the
said
pain, I
arise, or rather, through the pain, I rise.
Yes.
Through the pain. And a lot of people think that in life we go through things and we, it's just easy, right?
Right.
Long as you keep a smile on your face, and we say things like fake it till you make it. We say things like what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Yes.
And all of these idioms that we subscribe to in the African American context, it really suffocates. Can I be candid with you?
Yes, go ahead.
And do you agree with it? It provides suffocation to most of us?
I think it does. In the Black community, everybody wants to be private about their situations. They want to act like they have it all together when they know deep down inside they really don't have it all together. So many people are suffering in silence because they won't speak up. They won't talk about the different things that they've been through, and they will not even acknowledge their pain, because you've got to make sure everything is picture perfect so that you're not being judged. But when you look in the mirror, it's really not picture perfect, and you really got to dig deep behind those layers of all those things that you're hiding. And I think in order for you to be able to move forward in life, you have to rip open that Band-Aid and give it some air, give it some life, so that things in your life can heal. And you start with yourself. Your healing is solely based upon you and where you're going, your purpose, your destiny in life. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And
say that again. Say that again. Say that again. Say that again. You're helping somebody.
Your healing is solely based upon you and no one else.
Nobody else.
Nobody else. And it's personal. Your healing is personal. People don't have to be a part of your healing. And I think people think that we have to share everything with everyone, every little step that we're making in our healing. No, you can sit still and do that with God. I believe in having people that may hold you accountable through the process of your healing, but those are people that are going to pray for you, that's going to hold your hand, they're going to walk you through it. They're not going to be over here calling Joe, telling him about the things that you're going through in life. They're going to hold those things sacred to their heart, and hold you accountable in your process, in your journey of healing. So.
Oh, that's good. That is so good. I just took some notes as I was preparing for our conversation, and I want to ask you this: what actually made you get into personal training? What made you get into personal training?
Personal training for me, it wasn't a choice. I discovered through my healing that personal training was a part of the purpose. And I did have a personal health scare of my own, because I ate everything fried, from pork to beef to chicken, Popeyes. They had
Stop it.
With the local. So I did eat horribly, and I was placed on medication, and I went with some friends to Smoky Bones. And my thing was ribs and French fries.
Okay.
And I went to pop a pill, and they were like, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, the doctor prescribed these to me. I have high cholesterol, this and that." And they literally took the pills from me that day and crushed them up on a plate and said, "No, no more." And that was my first and only pill that I took. And so when they crushed them up on a plate, they was like, "Well, what you want to eat?" I was like, "Why are we here? We're here for the ribs." So they were like, "Okay, we're going to let you get the ribs, but you're not going to get French fries."
Okay.
They made me sit at the table like a 2-year-old and made me eat broccoli. And I was pissed, highly pissed. But I ate that broccoli. And so things like that making small changes in my diet. And when I went back to the doctor, she was like, "Oh, the medication is working. We're going to keep you on it." And I was like, "No, ma'am."
No, ma'am.
And I told her, I said, I took one pill. And I said to her, I said, "Well, let me ask you something." I said, "You know, I work out all the time. Why don't you just tell me to change my eating habits?" And she really didn't have a response for me, because I don't think there's nothing wrong with a doctor. I think that they're needed, but I think a doctor should be confirmation of your lifestyle, good or bad.
Say that again.
A doctor should be confirmation of your lifestyle, good or bad. So I think if you are taking a path of health and fitness, when you go get those exams, then they should confirm what you're doing, the lifestyle that you're living. Now, if you are not on a lifestyle of health and fitness, that exam is going to tell you something else. If you have a horrible diet, if your lifestyle is just out of whack, your stress levels are up, and you're putting anything in your body because you don't have the time to prepare your meals, just different things like that. So that was my health scare. And I was working out every day because fitness was a part of my healing journey.
Okay.
God began to rebuild my life and rebuild me through fitness, one rep at a time. So I tell people sometimes fitness saved my life because that helped me to see me, who I was. It helped develop discipline, my inner strength, my personal strength, spiritually, mentally, everything. It really shaped me. And so fitness, people sometimes look at it as being a very superficial thing. But for me, it's sanctuary. It is therapy for me. It's for me to go in and really test myself, and judge myself, on my performance. How well am I doing? Am I too tired? Can I push past this rep? Just different things. And it clears my mind. Anything that's going on in the world, in my life, when I go to the gym, it shifts for me. It shifts. So, that's one reason why I am in health and fitness. And I just feel like God pushed me into it because it took me a year to really decide that that's what I wanted to do. I was working with trainers at the time, a husband and wife, and they were like, "You're great at this. I think you should be a trainer." And I'm like, "No, that's not my personality." And I sat on it. I was in the salon doing hair, and I was doing my pastor's hair at the time. And she said, "Well, since you work out all the time, you should become a trainer." And I laughed at her and I said, "Well, I'm actually researching the cost now." And she said, "Well, how much does it cost?" And when she got up, she wrote me a check, not only for her hair, but she paid for my first certification. So I was like, "Okay, God, I'm in, I'll do it." And so that is what pushed me in there. And so God began to show me that I'm going to use fitness to get you in the door with people, to help them rebuild and heal their lives as I helped you help heal and rebuild your life.
Oh my goodness.
So it's more than just going in the gym, get this rep done. I have clients that we sit and we talk and they discover things about themselves and we pull back that Band-Aid, no matter what their age is. I've trained women that, I'm 43. I've trained women in their 50s, late 50s, and they're still dealing with childhood issues. And they didn't realize that they needed to heal from those childhood issues until we started having conversations.
Sure.
I started breaking through the barrier, with them through conversation. And then they were like, "You know what? You're right." And I began to give them exercises, not just in the gym, but mental and spiritual exercises to help them overcome and start healing and start letting go some of that baggage that they have been holding on to for years. And that baggage sometimes develop in pounds.
Ooh.
So for me, I never had an issue with weight. I've always been fatigued, but I had mental weight loss that I had to get rid of. And I think that mental weight loss is the hardest weight to lose because it really shapes your reality, your perception. It shapes so much your finances, your spiritual life, your personal life. It shapes so much. And if we can't get rid of that mental pounds, that weight, that stuff is going to boggle us down, and it is going to manifest in other areas of our life. Sickness, diseases, spiritual sickness, relationships, finances. You know, your finances could be out of whack because you've developed bad habits. So, yeah.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. What an inspiring testimony that you came into contact with leadership, or pastor, or first lady, and to share a vision of what you were going through in your journey. And as you had made your determination, I think many times people are weighed down even more because they just lose their determination, right?
Determination, hope.
How long were you just working out before you had that conversation with your pastor that transformed and got the ball moving, if you will?
I probably had been working out. Well, first of all, let me say this. I've been athletic all my life.
Okay.
I played sports, and there was a period where I did get away from the gym. So I probably would say maybe 3 years.
3 years, okay.
Maybe 3 years of me working out and going through different things, you know, with my own personal body. Just a lot of time of spending a lot of alone time.
Oh my.
A lot of alone time. Isolation, you know, work, church, gym, kids. I ain't coming, don't call me, I ain't calling you. Because I understood that there was so much hurt and anger on the inside of me. And looking at me, everyone always thought that I had a perfect life. I had a spoon in my mouth. And that was not my story. I had been going through things from age 2. I said the enemy tried to take me out at age 2. I have a scar on my arm. You probably can't see it. I have a scar on my arm. So the enemy was at me at age 2. So from 2 to maybe roughly 20-something, 21, I was going through fights, demonic attacks with the enemy. And it came through family. It came through relationships. You know, and then oftentimes myself. So,
not blaming anybody else. You just knew a lot of it was within me.
Within me. I never saw myself as a victim. Let me say that.
But you experienced some hardships even when you were a child, right?
I did. Age 5 was the first time that I was molested, and I was molested for 5 years straight. By different family members. It wasn't the same person. It was 2 cousins on my mom's side, and then my biological sister's cousin, which was female, molested me as well. So, and then from that, you know, going through that kind of shaped my reality. I thought it was normal. I really, really thought it was normal because I did tell at age 5. I got in trouble for it. So I never told anything else that I went through. So I experienced everything alone. So when I was going through the domestic violence relationships, when I was raped, I experienced that stuff alone. I did not tell anyone because I felt at that time, and this was just the tricks of the enemy, if your mom doesn't protect you,
who will?
Who will?
Yeah.
So that shaped a lot of things within me. So I kept everything inwardly. And so until I had a breaking point, I dealt with it between myself and God. And then I had a husband and wife that were pastoring me at the time, and I would talk to them about certain things. And they would kind of give me advice to kind of help me through.
Wonderful, wonderful. Listen, we're going to dig deeper into this story because we're going to go into the book. And I want to make sure that when we go into this, we have enough time. So let us take this quick break, and we're going to be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the commercial break.
I want to talk to you about the stakes in this election as plainly as I can. If we're going to get this virus under control, get folks back to work, and make sure affordable health care is available for everybody, we've got to send people to Washington who aren't interested in playing political games or making themselves rich. We've got to elect folks who will get to work for people like you. That's why I'm supporting Reverend Raphael Warnock in the special election for Senate. Reverend Warnock's someone I've known for years. He's a man of great moral integrity, a leader in the truest sense of the word. He's spent his life pushing for justice, fighting to expand healthcare, protecting voting rights and the dignity of work. You don't find a lot of people in Washington like Reverend Warnock, and that's exactly why we got to get him there. Please join me in supporting Raphael Warnock for Senate.
I'm Raphael Warnock, and I know we can do better. That's why I approve this message.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here on LongTalk this evening, talking with just an amazing woman who is sharing just a thought-provoking testimony. Ms. Deliqua Isom is here, and she is just laying this conversation out. I told you guys that this conversation was really going to help you, and as you are sharing, we're even seeing in the comments about why so many people are just being blessed by what you are sharing, and you having the courage to do so is really speaking to our audience tonight. And that's why we're going to keep this going as long as we can tonight. Again, please take a moment, like and share this to as many as you possibly can here at LongTalk. Just go real quickly to Daunta Long, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Connect here tonight. Share this. Do a watch party. And do whatever you need to do to stay connected. But boy, I tell you, tonight I want to talk about this book, Through the Pain I Rise. And in this book, you give a line that you talk about recharging, and you keep placing an emphasis. You said we must recharge. It is essential that we recharge. I want to ask you, what is it that you do, if I can just be as candid with you here on LongTalk? What do you do to recharge?
The gym.
The gym.
But also meditation.
Meditation.
My quiet time, my alone time is very important to me. I do not take it lightly. My no's are important to me. But a lot of times just meditating and sitting still, praying, and sometimes not doing anything. Just sitting still and being alone in the moment of myself is ways that I recharge. And then also another way that I do recharge is I go to the cigar lounge, and I'll hang out there. People watch and laugh at some folks, laugh at some folks. And when I'm able to take a vacation, that's another way that I recharge as well. So those are my things. And then talking to my grandsons, that's another thing. Just is something about when they say, Grandma, it's just, everything just kind of fade away. That's another way.
Wow. I often wonder, when you have gone through traumatic experiences, and you, in this book, Through the Pain I Rise, you talk about it, and you just lay it all out for us systematically. But tonight I wanted to just talk about this, again, main point of recharging or retooling. You continue to talk about it's most valuable, because if not, you're so quick to fall back into what you have already experienced, particularly your pain. It's so easy, as you said in the book, to get right back into that pain, just like that, right? I mean, before you know it. Talk about that a little bit.
I think it's a daily decision. It's a daily choice, because there are situations that come in your life that may resemble certain things that you've been through. So it may be a trigger for you, and you automatically go back. But in that moment, you have to make a decision to say, that looked like something that I know. I remember when I touched that fire, it burnt me. So I don't want to touch that fire. I don't want to play with that. I have the option to say, no, I'm not going in that direction, because I know where that road is headed. I'm a firm believer when people show you who they are the first time, the trailer, I don't have to wait around to see the movie. I've already seen the trailer. And this trailer doesn't interest me, because this trailer is going to be a very, very, very painful movie if I stay in it. And so I'm making the daily choice to say, no, not today, not ever. It's all about what you allow into your space. If we want to recharge, we have to be careful about what we are allowing into our space daily. And
Daily.
by the moment.
By the moment.
Things going on in the world, we watch on TV, we have to pull back. That stuff is keeping us depressed. And we can't recharge if we're depressed. So we have to learn how to turn off the TVs, turn off the radios, turn off conversations from people that are draining us and sucking our energy from us. And so if we want to be recharged, we have to be very, very, very mindful of what we're entertaining, what we're allowing in. And we have to do things that we like to do to help us to recharge, to help us stay focused, whether that's reading a book, whether that's going and taking a long walk, whatever recharge looks like for you, because each individual is different. You know, for me, when I know that I'm having a rough day, I'm going to go a little harder in my workout classes. I'm going to push a little harder because, look, I'm going through something right now. So the only way I can get it out is to push y'all a little harder, and I'm going harder with y'all at the same time because I'm doing it out with you.
Sure.
So, just whatever it looks like for you, you know. But I think part of recharging is taking a look inwardly and rediscovering self, rekindling that relationship with yourself as a part of recharging.
Because to rise is to come all the way up, right?
Come all the way up.
Not partially.
Mm-mm. You got to come all the way up. It's a commitment to yourself every single day, you know, encouraging yourself, you know, on the way of rising up. You know, they say fake it till you make it, but I don't know if I really agree with that statement.
I don't subscribe to that thought pattern. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Right, because when you're faking it, when do you really see your real self? Everything becomes an illusion. And so for me, like affirmations, so I'm big on affirmations, right? But I'm not gonna say an affirmation that I don't believe. I don't believe in saying things that I have not tied my belief to. So a lot of people are quoting these affirmations, right? Because it's trendy, right?
It's trendy. Boy,
It's trendy.
say that again. Say that again. A lot of affirmations are what?
They're trendy.
Trendy.
They're trendy. Yeah. Oh, they said say this. But do you believe what you're saying in order for it to manifest and come to reality in your life? Or are you just saying something because it sounds and it looks good and that's the pattern and the way of the world right now? But if we go back biblically, that says speak those things that be not as though they are, correct? Is that not what affirmation is? You're speaking those things into existence, and you're tying your belief and your faith, which gives them the power to grow and manifest in your life to become the reality. Faith without works is dead. Power of life and death is in the tongue. It all ties together, but it ties in your belief with your faith. So if we're saying these affirmations, allow it to be tied to your soul, to your belief, what you really truly believe, how you really truly yourself, see yourself. So in my pain, I always kind of saw myself in a different situation. My imagination just went wild. I always saw myself differently, although these are the things that I went through and I experienced. I did have some type of understanding and say that this is not who I am. This cannot be life. God did not allow me to go through these things, to suffer these things, to continue to stay suffering. There is a way out. And what is that way out? It's perception. It's mindset. It's healing.
Yeah.
It's developing and growing self. I took 5 years and still do every day since those 5 years to heal. Because it was important. I'm raising a son, I'm raising a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very, very, very important for me to heal and not allow the cycle to continue, that generational curse to continue in their lives. To impart that hurt, that pain, that bitterness into them because I'm hurt, I'm angry, I'm carrying this pain. It's my pain, it ain't theirs. It ain't got nothing to do with them. But unknowingly, hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people. You're absolutely right.
And so we don't take the time to really see who we are and make the necessary changes. It's just going to continue to go.
The cycle will, yeah.
Continue.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that culture. Everybody is demonizing a certain Caucasian minister from Fort Worth, Texas. Everybody knows him as Kenneth Copeland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we saw what Kenneth Copeland did several days ago, and everybody's saying that's demonic, and everybody's saying, oh, that's evil. I'm trying to tell you guys, excuse my southern drawl. Kenneth Copeland has been the one that has been giving affirmations for nearly a half a century. And most people that we like are well-known televangelists. They just trendy pick it up from Kenneth Copeland. Now all of a sudden we are like, whoa, Kenneth Copeland. I'm trying to tell y'all, Kenneth Copeland didn't just start acting like this since 45 became president.
Hey, it's real out here. And people need
Got to be careful with those affirmations, right?
You got to be careful with them.
Boy, and throughout the mid-90s, we were just saying every affirmation that came from the believer's voice of victory. And boy, we didn't even know what we were saying. Now we're looking in 2020 going, uh-oh, something wrong. No.
Something wrong with that.
No, he's been that way for 50 years. And everybody that trended with him. And you can fill in the blank. And I just let y'all know, he's the official son of the Word of Faith movement. So all of the pastors across the country, black and white, and we could go on for 3 minutes calling their names. Some here in College Park, Georgia. Some in Detroit, Michigan. Some all across the country. You heard Miss Isom say, I didn't say it. She said, y'all got to watch them. You all must watch these affirmations that you put over yourselves, that you speak out your mouth, right?
You got to watch them. If it don't resonate with your spirit, so there's this thing, right? So in the Bible, when it says, I knew you pretty much before you entered into your mother's womb. Who were you before you entered into the womb? And I feel like that's where we have to calibrate to. Who was that person before the womb? What gifts, what talents, what things did he place in us before we got into the womb? And a lot of times, those things that we naturally have a talent for, that's what he placed in us before we were in the womb. So people like to say, well, I'm self-made. No, you're not. God gave you some tools. He gave you some things before you became into the womb. And so now what you're doing is you're exercising, you're pulling those tools and those things that he placed in you before he placed you into your mother's womb. So you're not self-made. You're spirit. And now you're having a human experience. Now your spirit is calibrating back towards those things that God placed into you before you were life, human form. Don't look at me like
I'm with you. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say you still got me messed up from speaking those affirmations. I'm looking at how the country is in such awe. Dare I repeat it again? These affirmations that we have just because they're trendy, and we don't, as you said a moment ago, we don't know who we are.
We don't.
We don't seek the approval from people like Kenneth Copeland, right? Because he's a well-known televangelist. I don't take all the money from my local church and give it to him because he's all over television.
Oh, wow.
Or he does campaigns across the country, and I just really want to get to that microphone. Oh, God. I really want to get to Fort Worth. I really want to get to Branson, Missouri. Oh, if I could just get to one of those campaigns, and if I could just preach and put the microphone on. And then you'll get mad with Daunta Long 20 years later, tonight when I'm on LongTalk saying, you all gave millions of dollars to this man. I'm talking about black pastors. And those of us that went to the black churches, right? I know you probably didn't want to go down this, but I'm trying to come up through my pain. I'm trying to figure out why is everybody so upset with Kenneth Copeland? That is nothing new.
It's nothing new, but I think people are discovering. They're on the path of discovery. So
Deliqua, it took 30. Well, I guess it took the children of Israel 40 years. It's taken a lot of our black Word of Faith movement pastors 30 and 40 years to figure out
what's really going on.
All I'm gonna say is Dad Price in Los Angeles, California, he tried to tell you guys back in the mid-90s, but you all didn't listen. You blackballed him. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. This is LongTalk. This is my platform. And you the one said this. This wasn't in my notes.
And let me tell you, like, because I tune stuff out.
Sure,
So
you got to tune it out.
Right. And so I have no idea what Kenneth Copeland is into, what he's been doing.
My God.
I'm aware of who he is, but I don't stay current with much that's in
trendy.
Right.
Well,
if I don't see it come across my timeline, then I really don't know what's going on. Or if someone don't bring it to my attention, I really don't know that is going on.
Deliqua, the reason why I'm addressing this, and I'm sorry I took a side street down.
No, you're good.
You were on 75 and I got off on 20, and I'm all the way in Covington now. I'm sorry, but I promise I'm gonna make a U-turn in Rockdale County. I'm coming back to 75. Do you know how much money they spent in the 70s and the 80s promulgating this message of these affirmations into the black community? These books that Kenneth Copeland and Kenneth Hagin, Dad Hagin, who ultimately it's a known fact, research it, he stole all of his material from E.W. Kenyon. But you're trying to figure out, Daunta Long, why are you chasing rabbits? I'm trying to tell you all, everybody wants to be upset over you wonder why you went to church for 20 years, gave all that money that Kenneth Copeland told you to gave all that money. My God, I'm not going here. And your life is in ruins now. And Deliqua's on here telling you it's not about you going to these conventions and giving money. If you just take time to heal yourself, pray for yourself, meditate for yourself. I'm back at Boulevard now. I'm about to get on 75.
You good. So I think a lot of people just really don't know the power that rests on the inside of them.
Talk about that for a minute, if you will.
And so they put their faith and belief in everything else, right? Instead of understanding that if the Bible tells us that we were created in God's image, He is the power source to everything, then do we not have that same power on the inside of us? Can we not sit and pray for ourselves? Can we not speak a word over ourselves and heal ourselves? Or do we need someone to stand up and do an altar call for your issue? And you go up there and supposedly be healed, but it's your faith that makes you healed. So if you don't believe,
No. Here again with these affirmations. If you give $1,000, you can break the back of poverty.
no,
No?
you can no.
No? Whoa. Slow down. What do you mean no?
You said if you give $1,000, you can break the back of poverty.
Yes. And
No,
listen, we've heard that a million times on television.
we have, but
And in printed literature. I don't want to just say it was televangelist. It was in printed. Okay. All right, I'm sorry.
But we can take that same $1,000 and come up with a plan and break.
Stop buying all that fried chicken and ribs that's going to end us up in the hospital with a $2,500 deductible.
We can come up with a plan with that $1,000 and invest in ourselves with that $1,000 and break the back of poverty.
Talk to me.
We can invest wisely, practice saving. Come up with a spending budget, a spending plan, a financial plan, and break the back of poverty. We don't have to go sow it over there to break the back. We can sow it within our own selves, in our own investments, in ourselves or someone else to break the back of poverty. We don't have to go and give it over there. I'm just saying.
You say it so nice. Oh, you're so nice. That's that grandmama coming out of you.
You know.
Oh, baby, you could just... I'm sorry. Long Talk audience, I apologize.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me.
But no, we have to use wisdom, man. Come on. We have to use wisdom. Period. We got to get clarity for ourselves and implement the wisdom and the understanding that we have and move forward and stop allowing ourselves to fall into these I don't know what word I want to call it.
The trap, the cycle.
The cycle, the trap. Yeah. We have to as not just as Black people, just people, period. We have to, because if not, we will continue down the same spiral. We have the same spiral. And I don't know nobody that has sown $1,000. Me personally, I don't know nobody that's sown $1,000 and broke poverty off of their lives by sowing into that particular ministry. I don't. Now, have I sown into ministry? I have. And I did because I felt like I heard the voice of God tell me to sow that.
Say that again. People in the back can't hear you. Say that once again.
That I felt like I heard the voice of God tell me.
I heard it. Through
Yes.
my pain, I heard it.
I heard it.
Woo!
And so he said, and I did, and it did open doors for me because I tied my faith to what I heard God say. So it did open doors for me. It did grant me favor in certain situations, but it wasn't because a pastor said to me, I need you to sow $1,000. I need 500 people to sow $1,000. God ain't told me to do that.
I got you.
So,
I got you loud and clear.
Yeah, and like I said, I have heard God. I mean, I haven't been home, and I've heard God say to me since I've been here in Atlanta to go to this church. I never heard this pastor, but I've heard him say, "Go," and I've researched the person to find out where they were, and I get there and I'm saying, "Why am I here?" And I've heard God say to me, "You're to sow into this ministry," and I've done that. And shortly later, I've seen things happen in my life.
Sure.
But I've heard the voice of God tell me to go and to do it. And I never stepped foot back in the church ever again. I was on assignment that day to do what he told me to do. We just got to use wisdom, man.
We got to use wisdom.
We got to use wisdom. We really, really, really have to use wisdom and exercise it in every way possible in our lives, or we will fall for the okie doke every single time.
And remain in this pain that you are so desperately tonight trying to get all of us
to get out of,
to arise.
A lot of people, there's a lot of financial hurt in people's lives, dealing with poverty, dealing with struggle after struggle after struggle after struggle, right? And so when you're in that cycle, that can cause you to become kind of angry about your financial situation, cause you to have resentment towards others.
Talk in here. Talk up in here tonight.
Because of your personal struggle with your finances. And so if you don't look at your finances and say, hey, maybe I don't need to go to Chick-fil-A this week. Maybe I need to take that extra $7, $8 that I'm going to spend at Chick-fil-A.
This is pain. This is pain.
Over
oh my God.
My savings account and allow that to continue to build up so that you can make a decision and say, hey, now I can go and invest this money that I've accumulated into something of my business, something, that's going to help break this financial cycle that I'm in. I've dealt with financial pain. I know what that looks like, and I didn't realize at the time that I was dealing with it. And I was speaking at a women's event. Mm-hmm. And so I went as a fitness person, right? To speak to them about their health and fitness. But then God started using me in the area of ministry. And he began to allow me to speak to different women about different things that I never met these women. I don't know these women. But God was showing me things and I was able to speak. But then there was a moment where I heard God say, sit. And I sat and I heard him say, release it. And I was like, release what? And he said to me, you are struggling with your financial hurt. And I didn't realize that. Mm. But when I got up, I heard him say, it's over. Ooh. And I will tell you that every day has been a whole lot easier since that day. But I sat still enough to hear God's voice and I was obedient to what he was doing in my life when he was telling me to speak to those women and say this to those women and not be worried about how they're going to receive it. But just say what I'm telling you to say, be obedient. And I did it. And I had my own breakthrough by obedience.
My.
And things changed for me, I would say, daily from that day forward. So, people have all different types of pain and hurt. It's not always something that is of a traumatic experience in life. Everybody wasn't raped. Everybody wasn't molested. Everybody hasn't been through domestic, verbal, and physical abuse. Mm-hmm. Some of their pain is spiritual relationships. Church hurt.
Yeah.
Financial hurt. Relationship hurt. And if you don't sit down long enough to discover your hurt, you're going to continue to stay in the cycle of your hurt. Some people haven't even been able to identify what is going on with them. They just know that something is off, something is wrong.
And you hear people say something just ain't right.
Something just ain't right. But you ain't taking the time to find out why it ain't right. What is this something that isn't right?
I can't put my finger on it.
I can't put my finger on it. But something just ain't off. Something is just off today.
Something's off, yeah.
Or off the whole year. But, I'm a advocate for sitting still and figuring out you, discovering you, so that you can move forward in the things that God has called you to do and be. And if you don't let those things go, they only hinder you. They hinder your message, God's message. They hinder relationships that are meant to bring life to you. They hinder your blessings. I think that when we are operating from a place of hurt and anger, we are only going to get so far before that thing comes to a head and busts and it shows up. And how is it going to show up? That's the real question. How is it going to show up? You don't know how it's going to show up. You can snap. It can cause you in a downward spiral in life if we're not careful to deal with our hurt and rise up from it. I've seen it. I've seen it in my family, drug addiction, just all kind of different things. Anger,
My God.
just fighting for no reason. Somebody said hi to you, and you don't like the way they said it, so you got an attitude. Now you're ready to punch the person.
Yeah. You're in pain.
They're in pain.
Yeah.
And if you don't identify it so that you can move forward and deal with it, so that you can become greatness, walk in your greatness, walk in the purpose, the gifts and the talents that you have.
Well, listen, I have enjoyed this conversation. Before I let you go, I'm really feeling led, and I know we don't do this a lot. I don't think I've ever done this on Long Talk before, but I'm really sensing that you have a message for somebody who's really hurting today. And they will buy the book, I'm sure. They're going to go and purchase this book. And matter of fact, let me just tell everybody to go to Arthur, and you see it right there on the screen. Her name, Deliqua Isom, ISOM.com. Pick up this book. But tonight, there is somebody who is hurting, whether it be because of a debilitating disease or, quite candidly, if you're not watching the news, however you're getting your news, you'll realize that people are becoming infected once again at an alarming rate with this pandemic that we know as COVID-19. And that's why we wanted to title tonight's conversation, Arise in the Middle of the Crisis. And as you have penned this book, Through the Pain, I Rise. Talk to somebody who's watching us tonight or who may watch us later. And just share with them, what can they do? Who do they need to see? Where do they need to go? What's the next step to help me rise through my pain?
Forgiveness. I think forgiveness is key in rising from your pain, whether it be forgiveness of someone else, forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
And forgiveness. And so forgiveness without conditions. Unconditional forgiveness. And you don't have to go to have a conversation with someone to forgive them. You can release them in your heart by just simply saying, I release this situation. I release this person right then and there. I believe forgiveness is the key. And when we're looking at the pandemic and we're mad and everybody mad at 45, forgive him. I don't care for him, I'm gonna be honest. But forgive him.
Forgive.
For the way he handled things. Because that is setting in you. You can't hold a conversation about what's going on in the world without getting upset.
Yeah.
You need to let it go. You need to let it go. And so that you can move forward in your life. So that you can be effective in your own life. And you have to learn, again, Take accountability and sit still. Take accountability for yourself, your decisions, for the direction that your life is going. You can't keep blaming mama and daddy and you 35, you 45. You can't keep blaming them. They did what they did.
And I believe they did the best they could, give or take, plus or minus, right?
Under their situations and circumstances with the knowledge and wisdom that they had.
Talk, queen. Talk. You're talking good.
Right now, this is your life. This is your path. And you have to be accountable for you. And you have to move forward. You have to let go. You have to forgive. Period. When we go and we ask for forgiveness for God, He forgives us without conditions. But everybody, and I'm going to say this is a little off, but everybody mad at R. Kelly, right?
Yeah. Okay.
R. Kelly ain't did nothing to you, but you mad at R. Kelly for his actions. Is that your forgiveness to give? You done took other people's energy, and now it is
impose it on yourself.
Imposing it on yourself. Let that stuff go so that you can move forward and have a blessed life, so that you can walk in your own personal and inner greatness. So those layers of who you are can start coming forward because you have a gift to share with the world. If it's not with the world, you have it to share with somebody that needs to hear what you got to say, even if it's one person. But you have to let go. You have to forgive so that you can move forward and tap into who you were created to be, so that you can walk in your purpose, your destiny, for your life. Take accountability for your thoughts, for your emotions. Take accountability for yourself.
My God.
Your emotional state is your emotional state. It's not no one else's. Take accountability for it. And stop picking up these titles that people have placed on you. Oh, you broken. No, you ain't. You just bent a little bit. You're not broken. But if you dig down into the source, which is God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, if you dig down into the source, you become a resource of that power so that you can rise up and so that you can walk in your victory and overcome your obstacles. But you got to plug in. You got to tune in. And if you don't tune in to who you are and plug into who God is, you're going to stay in this path, this cycle. And that person is going to keep going from you to your son, your daughter, whoever is going to keep going because you're not dealing with you. You're coping with you.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. This has been a good conversation. This has been a transformational long talk tonight. I am so thankful that you took the time to come on and talk with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Friends, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I want you tonight, don't wait until we go off. I need you to do it right now. Please pick up a copy of this book, Through the Pain, I Rise. Through the Pain, I Rise. Hear the transparency of this wonderful dear sister, a queen, if you will, in our village, in our community, who's gone through obscurity, who's gone through pain, who's gone through bitterness, suffering, you name it. I'm trying my best to empathize, but I gotta be transparent with you. I can't even fathom a toxic environment where you can't even get your own mother, father to take you serious. And you share about this in your book.
I do. And me and my mom have a great relationship now. That relationship, she was going through her own pain.
Okay. You said it earlier. We do the best we can do with what we have. And I must be accountable. I can't blame somebody else. She was doing the best she could.
Yes, absolutely.
Can't be mad at my mama for that. Can't be mad at my daddy. Because guess what? I'm doing the same with my children.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to make mistakes.
Say that again?
We're going to make mistakes.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
First time. We're going to make mistakes. because we're learning these situations. We're dealing with sometimes for the first time. And so our response may not be the response that is politically correct the first time, because we're not equipped. We don't have the experience to handle this situation. And unfortunately, in the Black community, we're not given the tools to handle the situation because we sweep everything under the rug because we're coping and not dealing with anything.
Yeah.
So, accountability and just dealing with your issues so they don't keep spilling into the world, so to speak.
Again, I say blessings to you. Again, I say I salute you. Again, I say I am so thankful that you took the time to come on Long Talk tonight. And with all transparency, you allowed me to ask the questions, the tough questions, if you will. You didn't put any filters on it. I want to also say to you, you're some kind of queen to let me go on a rant and not walk off.
It's okay. I mean, we all deal with our mess, right?
Say it again.
I said we all have to deal with our mess, right?
We got to deal with our mess. That anger has been in me all week. And at first I wanted to blame people. I said, man, but you know what? Everybody don't know the 40, 50, 60-year history of what's happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody was upset with Paula White. I said, y'all got to you all must remember who placed her at that church in Orlando, Florida.
And that was Zachary Timms.
The late Dr. Zachary Timms, absolutely and precisely.
Let me tell you, because I was a member there. I came from the storefront with him.
Uh-oh. Stay tuned. Hey, listen, don't log off. This is good. Stay tuned, please. Go grab somebody. Tell them to get on Long Talk real quick. Go for it, Queen. Go for it.
I came from the storefront with him. And I watched that church grow from 100 members to 10,000 plus members. I saw the integrity in his leadership.
Okay.
He had his shortcomings, don't get me wrong.
He had a shortcoming.
Every man, every woman does.
I'm not here to judge that man.
But I will say this. The last time I was there in that church was after he had passed. And they was, and I've never said this publicly, I've said this privately. They were doing a sort of appreciation for Pastor Reva. And she was
Pastor Reva? Okay.
She was leaving the ministry and starting her own.
Okay.
Which I felt was totally wrong. Because she helped build that church.
Mm-hmm.
Her love, her support for her husband, her sacrifice helped build that church. She should have been in position as the pastor at that church. Yet they gave it to that lady, Paula. And I was sitting there and because I'm very in tune spiritually. And I was sitting there and I heard God say to me, this is manipulation.
Manipulation.
From the praise and worship to the things that were said that day, it just was not a genuine spirit in that church. And I did not step foot back into that church. And, she was there. She became the pastor and she was the pastor of that day. But it was just not a good situation. It wasn't a good vibe. And I have not looked back. I did see this video that is trending. And I didn't even realize it was her. I went back and I looked at it.
It hurts.
Mm-hmm. It does. I don't think that, I just feel the whole situation was handled, my personal opinion, Deliqua Isom's personal opinion, I just feel like the whole situation was handled very, very wrongly. A lot of the congregation was hurt. A lot of the congregation is still hurt. They were divided. They had to choose. And I don't think that I was right. I feel like, again, I felt like Pastor, and I don't know if she wanted to be there or not. I didn't have a conversation with her, so I don't know. But I feel like she should have, her and her children should have been running that church, because that's her children's legacy, which is no more now.
No more.
Which is no more. And this
she had to go out and build a brand new ministry from the ground.
Ministry from the ground up.
With, and I hate to say it, with people who were hurt and damaged because New Destiny was their church.
New Destiny was their church. And Pastor Dr. Timms, he did a lot for the community. I've sat in plenty of services and watched this man go into his pockets and just bless people. Anything this man said he was going to do,
he did it.
He did it. From carpet to whatever it was, he did it. So I saw his integrity. And I learned a great deal from him. I learned a great deal from him. And him and his wife at that time were a part of my healing process.
Sure. That's correct. That is correct.
And the stuff that they shared with me and I shared with them, you know, getting me to see things a little bit differently.
Sure.
But
and that's life. And that's healthy. Boy, everybody shouldn't agree all the time about everything.
Mm-mm.
That's not healthy.
Mm-mm. It shouldn't. But it just never felt right. And still to this day, it doesn't feel right. Seeing her up there, it just doesn't feel right.
Because you know, without any question, under no uncertain terms, Reva Tim should have been the pastor.
I really feel that. And I that's my personal opinion. That's just what I feel. Somebody else can agree to disagree. I don't care. But I do feel like, yeah, she should have been. She should have been. They shouldn't have brought someone from the outside in. And although, you know, she was supposedly, you know, a mentor or whatever to him, she still shouldn't have been in a position to take over that church. Mm-mm. I said it.
This is Long Talk. Make no apology.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Make no apology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it is what it is.
You're entitled to voice it, and in no way are we trying to be degradist or besmirch the character of the late Dr. Zachary Timms. Not trying to besmirch the character of his widow, Pastor Reva Timms. Not trying to besmirch the character of any of the board of directors, nor any of the committee members that ultimately made the decision to appoint Paula White as the pastor of New Destiny Christian Center in Orlando, Florida. So we're not using this platform to besmirch. We're just stating the facts.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. It's just my personal experience. Everybody has their own. Some people may have a different experience than me. I'm speaking from my personal experience, my personal relationship with him and her. I absolutely loved and adored both of them, and still to this day, because there are messages still in my head that he preached that I can pull back off the shelf and apply it to something currently, you know. So who and what he did is their business. That's between him and God. That ain't got nothing to do with Deliqua. He helped Deliqua grow in a lot of areas that she needed to grow in.
Sure.
And Reva helped Deliqua to grow in a lot of areas that I needed to grow in. So I don't have nothing bad to say. I don't agree with the things that he may have done, you know, but I understood at the end of the day that this is a man, period. He's a human being, period. And he has to answer for himself, just like I have to answer for myself. And I can't judge him. I can't judge no one in the situation. I just know at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, I know what God spoke to me and said. And I got on about my business after that.
I absolutely, and you know, the truth is just the truth. We did not discuss this before the show. I had no idea. Even when reading your bio, you said Orlando, Florida, but there are thousands of churches in Orlando, like every other metropolitan city. I had no earthly idea that we were going to take this road. We just went up 400, boy.
Boy.
Oh, boy. But hey, the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. And now that everybody's outraged and everybody is so hurt that she would do this, and everybody's so hurt that, you know, Kenneth Copeland would say the things and act out in his belligerent behavior. And I'm simply saying, guys, this isn't anything new. This is not obtuse. This is prevalent. And so I'm sorry if I take the least road traveled and talk about it from this perspective, but there are a lot of hurting people. Let's get back to what's most important. There are a lot of people hurting from that situation, from watching these degradous videos from both of these personalities. And saying, how can they be so insensitive to African Americans, and how can they be so vile and mock us and summons our ancestors or the angels? That's a whole nother conversation. Not going down that road. We're already on 400. I'm not finna make. I'm somewhere I'm not accustomed to, so I better stay on the road that I know. But there are a lot of hurting people.
People, yeah, and we just have to really be careful what we allow in.
Yeah.
What we allow in, and understand that we have to let things go.
Let it go.
Because the energy consumes us. Energy becomes our reality, and it can be very negative energy. Producing in other areas of our life.
You're talking to me.
We're sitting in that space for too long, it starts to grow and spread. So we have to get rid of the energy. We have to release the energy. And these people, I think people forget that they're human beings.
Sure.
And I think sometimes as African American, sometimes we really don't know where we come from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who
we have an identity crisis.
We have an identity crisis.
As I said earlier, if I can just get to Kenneth Copeland and give him this large sum of money, one day I can preach at the Believer's Voice of Victory campaign.
We have to let go. We have to really, really let energy go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Be comfortable in our own skin.
Be comfortable in our own skin.
Not seek the approval of another race to validate who I am.
God already validated you.
My God.
Period. That's the only opinion of who you are.
But I need that audience. I need that Caucasian audience to validate what I'm teaching, right?
God, your gift will make room for you. God will give you the audience that you need to be in front of. Period. Either you trust and believe or you don't. Because it ain't about you. It ain't about me. The audience that you need to be in front of, God will place that audience in front of you. He will place you in front of that audience. One person at a time.
Yeah.
That's the validation has to come from within. It has to come from knowing exactly who we are. And if we're saying we're kings and we're queens, are we really? Do we really believe we're kings and queens? Or are we just saying that because that also is trending now?
That's trendy. Yeah.
So am I a queen or am I not? Perception of self, not what someone else has said about us. Because they give us titles all day long, but those titles don't necessarily fit my purpose. It don't fit my destiny. It don't fit the vein and the lane that God has for me. So I can't allow those titles to attach themselves to me, because then it's going to confuse me. It's going to confuse my hearing. I'm not going to be able to hear correctly. I'm not going to be able to see things correctly because I got all these different titles and labels that these people done told me of who I was and who I am, and ain't none of them true. But somehow they've manifested in my thought pattern. And now they have become a part of my life. Because I believe what they said about me versus what God has said, or versus what I have spoken out of my own mouth.
Sure.
About myself. And we cannot give people that power over us. We cannot give them that much power. We can't.
Can't do it.
We can't.
Under no uncertain terms. Can I give you that type of authority in my life?
No.
That if you don't give me the platform, I'm useless.
We can't. Because does that platform determine your worth? Does that job determine your worth? Does that relationship determine your worth? If I get this, then I've arrived. I'm better now because I got this. You got to make the choice and the decision to be better without it. And once you do that, that thing that you're seeking, that thing that you're believing, before you know, it's going to appear and it's going to be your reality. You're going to have those things. But that thing cannot validate who you are. It can't validate your gift and your talent. You have to self-validate.
Oh, you're helping us tonight. We tried to end this 20 minutes ago, but I believe this Long Talk just helped so many more people. People will tell you in times past, I'm a very timely guy, try to keep it within, but no, tonight I believe we needed this Long Talk to help a lot of people from a lot of different genres of life, because a lot of people are hurting because of a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm. And now, no one's saying that these reasons aren't valid. I'm not saying that your reason of hurt, pain isn't valid. But are we going to give it so much power that we allow it to stagnate us?
Yeah.
We allow it to chip away and kill our inner self, our inner being. We can't. God put so much more on the inside of us. And we have to tap in and tune in and dig deeper and pull those things out.
I hear you. This is good. Thank you so much. Boy, thank you. I mean that, because what you have done here tonight is met so many people on so many different levels. And even in my ranting, how you came in and you said, all right, pipe it down and let's keep it moving, and how you continue to help people, even when I'm hurting because I'm angry and I'm upset because I'm mad at everybody. Like, y'all didn't see this? You said tonight, hey, everybody ain't watching TV, Daunta Long. Everybody ain't
looking for it.
Boy, you talking good.
Everybody not looking for it. People see what they want to see when they need to see it.
Sure. You're right.
Not looking for it.
Well, again, friends, tonight, if you will, just do us that favor. We've said it a couple times, but it deems repeating. Even in this very close to hour and a half presentation, still there's so much that we didn't even cover. This book is laced from beginning to end with so many strategies and so many different examples on how you can rise. And so I need somebody to go there to author DeliquaIsom.com and pick up a copy of this book, Through the Pain I Rise. It's going to be a great read for everybody.
Quick too.
Quick. Not going to take all day. Well, again, thank you, and best wishes to you in your journey
Thank you.
forward. God bless.
Thank you.
Friends, tonight, what a long talk this was. This is one for the books. I got to be honest, isn't much else I can say. Our dear sister laid it out for us, took us down many different paths, shared with us truth, and I sincerely appreciate her doing that. Long Talk is designed to help you. Listen, we all walk around feeling and faking it till we make it. I get it. It's the culture. It's the trend. Just do what you can until you can't. No, I'm hurting. I need to stop right now. I need to put my finger on that which I cannot put my finger on any longer. And I hope tonight's conversation did that for you. All right? Listen, enjoy the weekend. We'll be back on Tuesday night. Got many more guests, people sharing testimonies, sharing from their book, sharing their experience. Just stay connected to Long Talk. Boy, I tell you, you never know what we will address, when, and how long, and for what reason. That's why you need to get on. Tonight, somebody did not get a chance to see this, so I need you to refer them back right here to the Facebook page at Daunta Long, or it's the Instagram page, Daunta Long. Perhaps it's Twitter. A lot of times we go on Twitter after our long talks and we engage people in dialogue. Don't know if we're going to do that tonight, but listen, stay with us in our Twitter community. And then YouTube. I know so many of you are watching. Thank you so much, my YouTube family. I appreciate all of you. All right. So again, we'll see you next week. Enjoy this weekend, and we'll be back again Tuesday night, 7:30 for Long Talk. God bless.
Follow us on Facebook at Daunta Long. Follow us on Instagram at Daunta Long. Follow us on YouTube at Daunta Long. Thank you for tuning in to Long Talk.